gotta give you one of those, man. Those stands. I gotta give you one of those.
More than what?
I just got one.
Hey everybody, good morning, recovery people. We are live here at Living in Recovery. We're a little behind the wheel here today, but we're trying to get everyone in here. I don't need to be in here. You go over. Can we see Dave? Dave. Oh, you go back. You go in.
Come over here.
We need a real camera. Come on in, Dave.
Or tablet.
I might have to just sit
Put
on
it
that.
like right there, over there, where you're standing. Exactly. You get Dave. You get everybody.
If he comes up, so.
Tablet.
Or I could just do. You know what? This is what we're gonna do. Back it up.
That's what I said.
There you go. Yeah, I traveled a little bit.
And,
Whoa!
there we are. All right. Good
I
morning.
thought I was a lot smaller, but
Recovery community.
I got a lot smaller, but I'm still, compared to you guys, I'm still pretty big.
Yeah, but that adds, the camera adds weight.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. It adds 10 to 20 pounds to someone.
Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
That's why all those people that are in Hollywood are so damn skinny. Because if they look thin, it means they're like anorexic. Good morning, everybody. Listen, y'all gotta help make some recommendations so we need a bigger camera. See,
Yeah,
because
we do.
Morning Musings is getting so popular and so big that everybody wants to guest star on it here.
Yeah.
So we're coming at you live from Living in Recovery on the second floor at the Crane Center, 81 Linden Street, right here in beautiful downtown Pittsfield. And I'm here this morning with
Austin. Dwayne.
Anthony.
David.
and everybody. I want you to give a warm welcome to David, who is our new outreach coordinator here. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of him, and hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more of everyone.
Yes.
So yeah. So Dave, why don't do you mind starting with so today's your first official day, at Living in Recovery, and what is it that you're looking forward to here as, being here and part of our community?
I'm just basically looking to see what I can offer to the community, as far as what we offer here, in any way that we can help, and not only just help others, but also help me grow too as well. As an individual, as a person in recovery, and to be able to be a part of the solution of so many others, I think that's so important, to be able to offer something that will enrich the lives of so many people, I think that I know I've been given so much from this community, and so for me to give back, to this community is what I hold, near and dear to my heart,
Well, we are happy to have you. We are blessed to have you. And, we certainly look forward to creating some mayhem with you as we go forward here.
Yeah.
Good, clean mayhem is always a good thing to do. So we are not the sort of be very serious type of recovering people around here, right? There's a time for seriousness, right? Because, our lives are serious,
That's
right?
right.
Getting into recovery is some serious ass business, right? And we've talked about this a lot recently, but part of recovery is enjoying life. It's having fun. It's being able to be free again. Because you think about, before we hit that place where we needed to get help, right? And we go back to even thinking about being kids, right? Now for all of us, that was a different age where we stopped feeling free. Right? But at some point, we all had that sort of childlike wonder at the world. And I believe in recovery, that can be restored.
Absolutely.
But part of that is just through being able to let ourselves be ourselves. And I think that's a good topic for today. How do we get to that place of, letting ourselves be ourselves? How do we even begin to discover that? Right? Because if we've been out there using, right, what do we know about ourselves? We have all these ideas and narratives about ourselves that oh, we aren't strong enough, or oh, we hurt this person or that person, or maybe we were thieves, or maybe, you know, whatever that is. And then to be able to get to a place of really discovering who we are
Right.
Yeah.
without that. So, Austin, who are you?
It's a good question, Julie. You know, I'm still finding myself. You know, I drank and used for so long that, you know, I lost myself somewhere on the way. But being clean and sober and going to meetings and meeting like-minded people along this journey has helped me like rediscover the things that I lost, you know, the things that I used to have a passion for, like cooking, playing the keyboard, you know, nature, hiking, fishing, all that stuff. You know, I got so wrapped up that it was like I lived in a little box, and it was like I poked a hole in the box, and I would look out and say, you know, one day I'm gonna get back out there. But the box was like my safe comfort place, you know, and it was like a comfort blanket, you know. And for so long I wore that persona that I was afraid to step outside of myself and actually rediscover who I was. And you know, it's difficult to say because I'm still learning and discovering things about myself that I knew and things that I didn't know, you know, and it's exciting, you know. I wouldn't want to live any other way. I don't regret anything from my past. I am who I am today for the things that I have gone through, both in recovery and outside of recovery.
Right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Dee, what about you? Who are you, man?
Yeah, like Austin said, I just found myself. I didn't know who I was at all. You know, I've been drinking majority of my life, and I was in chains. Like I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know what type of life I really wanted to live. Honestly, I did. I wanted to live a evil life my whole life, and I thought I was always gonna be that person. But I had to really do a lot of things to find myself. Things that was very uncomfortable and I would never want to do. So I had to really give it up. I had to give it up. I had to get on my knees every day. I had to close my eyes and meditate and find this peaceful place that I probably should have been that person back then, but I had to go through all that pain to find that peace. So today I could say that I'm a really great person, you know, inside and outside. And I try to show the love no matter what. I don't care how bad my day is. I don't care if there's bad people around me. I still try to show the love because that's what I found out here when I moved out here. All love and caring. I found a different type of family that wasn't like my own family, you know. And it sucks to say it that way, but this is a part of life that I had to find. I had to find that out, and I had to do work. I had to get a sponsor. I had to go to meetings, and something I actually enjoy today with my life, you know. This is what keeps me gaining and keeps me learning who I really am and what I really want to do with myself. So, you know, that's who I am today. Just a great person.
Thank you.
Right.
Anthony.
Me, I feel like, you know, who am I? I'm like a person that's remained teachable every day, all throughout the day. You know, there's still rough patches I find myself in, but, you know, I learn from them. I learn my mistakes from them, learn my mistakes. I pray. You know, I just try to stay in the moment. You know, I don't think about the next. I think about today. You know what I mean? Because you can't. I mean, I think about today because you can't think about the next. You have to worry about today. It's all we got is today. You know, and I'm grateful for everything. You know, people I gained in my life. You know, I'm still working on trying to find my stuff, and I'm still working on trying to have fun. You know, because we got so used to being wild, being dysfunctional that that's all we know. So, like when I first started coming around, you know, I didn't know what fun. My fun was out there partying and being crazy. You know, I didn't really wanna, you know, I didn't really want to really. At first, I wasn't serious about this, you know, recovery. But I feel like now that you know I have you guys, and you know, you with the living in recovery, you know, Dave and everybody, AOC. You know, it's just a great thing.
The place to
The
be.
place to be, always. Yeah, AOC is the place to be. Yeah. No, but it's good. You know, I'm still like, I'm still working on like everything. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm not better than nobody. You know, because my problem, I don't want to ramble on, but you know, my problem is before you know, I used to go back out, whatever. I let my ego get so big. And I start forgetting about the program. I start forgetting reaching out. I start, you know, hiding. Start making excuses and oh no, you know what I mean? This I'm forgetting. We all know what happened after that. Go back out. So yeah, I just try to don't forget where I came from. I don't forget where I came from. I try to let my ego get big because I know that gets me every time. So yeah. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. You know.
Yeah.
It is. I'm David. I'm truly a work in progress. You know. You know, it's funny because I used to think, okay, well, you know, like there was a time when I first started coming around, and all I wanted to do was get to a place where I could have that facade that I was okay, so everyone would think I'm okay, you know, and still not knowing, you know, who I was or who I wanted to be or what was going on. Just the fact that I was more concerned about how people perceive me, you know, and so I never really put any stock in my spirituality, you know, and in myself, you know. It was always okay. Well, you know, how am I gonna be perceived, you know? So I get clean, I get sober, and you know, I get a job or whatever. I get some new clothes, and I'm back on the block. You know, and it took me a long time of bumping my head before I realized that it was never about how people perceive me or how I look. It was always about the healing process from the inside out, you know. And once I finally grasped the fact that that what I was dealing with was something that I couldn't conquer on my own, you know, that disease, you know, and I had to surrender. And once I surrendered, and then you know, I totally abandoned, you know, myself to my God. You know, then I was able to grow from the inside out. I was able to heal, and I was able to accept David for David, you know, and look at the fact that, you know, once I was armed with some facts, you know, about me, you know, then I was able to build on that, you know, like knowing that, you know, when I started drinking and drugging, I was only 15 years old. So, you know, now, you know, as a grown man, you know, entering in recovery emotionally, I'm still that 15-year-old kid. So, you know, I had to grow up, you know, and growing up meant that I had to get uncomfortable. You know, I had to accept some things that I didn't want to accept, you know, but in that journey, you know, I found out some other things, which is that, you know, recovery is the journey is the destination, you know. It doesn't end, you know. It's like, and I'm continuing to grow, you know. I'm like, I already heard it. All I have is today, you know. I get one day reprieve, you know, contingent on my spiritual principles and foundation, you know. So I'm the type of person, I didn't stop drinking and drugging so that I could be a stick in the mud, you know. You know, I want to have fun, I want to enjoy myself, I want to do some things. And I've done some things, you know, and I've come a long way, you know, and I've been able to give back, you know, like people gave to me, you know. And I think that it's always about, you know, one alcoholic, one addict helping another, you know. And so I'm just grateful that I'm the type of person that I am right now today, that I'm okay with who I am. You know, that you know, I don't, you know, I'm not ashamed of what I've done. You know, I've done the work that I needed to do to get where I am, to be proud of who I am, to accept myself for who I am and what I am, and continue to show up so that I can continue to get better. You know, because this thing don't end, man. It don't end. So that's where I'm at.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Thanks,
you know,
David.
now I feel like, you know.
Go ahead.
And I feel you with that, man, when you say, oh, it doesn't end, because, like, you know, there's some days where I catch myself like, oh, I just want to lay here, but I feel like, you know, I gotta get up and go wake up and do what I gotta do. You know, I don't feel like doing nothing some days, but I know that it doesn't end, because if you get like that, you're gonna get in the habit of getting that same routine on. Oh, I'll do this today. Nah, I'll take care of that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. You know, and eventually you're gonna get in that habit, and you're gonna keep doing that every day, every week. Like, man, now it's Friday, I didn't do nothing all this week. So that's what happened. That's what happened. Relate to that, because that's happened to me a lot. Some days, and you know, he called me. He'd be like, "What you doing?" I'll be like, so yeah, I'm like, I gotta go, man. He said, "Get up out of that bed." I'm like, yeah. So it's good to have motivation around you. It's good to have people who actually really care, because you know it's good. It helps you out.
New way of life.
It's easy to get stuck, man. It's easy to get stuck. You know, the most natural thing to do is nothing. You know, it's so natural to get up off your butt and to do some things that's going to change and make your life better, you know, because it's, you know, we're you know, by nature, you know, like I want to do what I've been doing most of my life, you know, which is nothing, you know, or contrary to a healthy life, you know.
Right.
And that, I think, is the piece of community that's so important, is having that motivation around us when we don't have it for ourselves, right? Because we can't always have it for ourselves. Like you're saying, Dave, sometimes it's just as natural, like, oh man, I just want to lay back, I deserve it, I've been working hard, I do this every day, blah, 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 right? But then when
the
we
ego
have,
comes in. The ego gets big.
Like, I'm good, I'm good, look, I'm doing good, I got this, I got that, I got this much in the bank, you know, and yeah, you could be good that one day, and maybe even the next, but it's like if I'm drawing on my savings account over at Greylock over here every single day, eventually I'm going to go to draw and there's nothing in there. Right? And so I need that community bank. Right?
Absolutely.
Where Dee or Anthony or Dave or Austin's calling me up saying like, what the, Julie, come on, let's go. Let's go. I haven't seen you in a bit. Oh, well, you know. But when we make those connections, even if we resent them in the moment, we're going to do what people are asking us to do. We're going to respond to that because we're letting people know us.
Right.
And that's the piece, I think, when we talk about, yes, it's all about fun, but there's some messy in there, too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we cannot make room. We were talking yesterday, I think, about people sometimes that kind of are a little bit miserable, right? Like, and listen, I have my miserable days or moments, but we cannot make room for joy if we don't empty out the mess.
That's true.
And none of us arrived here without mess.
Right.
We all got mess. And the thing about community too is, y'all help me see my mess because you're the mirror, right? Because if I'm just in my own space, in my own head, in my own little room, I can make myself all sorts of things, either grand as can be or as low as they go, right? So I need that mirror of community. I need people to say, when I'm feeling like crap about myself, I need people to say, Julie, you did good today. Come on, let's go do this. And maybe get outside of myself. Or I need people to say, girl, you're getting a little too big for yourself there. Right? Like, you need to chill out. You aren't all that.
That's right.
So, and I think that's the beauty, is our ability to be real with each other.
Absolutely.
Right? To be honest with ourselves and with each other. Because as I don't know if any of y'all know Gibran, but basically there's this saying in the prophet that talks about the deeper sorrow has carved into your being, that much more joy can you experience.
Yes.
So if we're not willing to get dirty, we aren't going to get clean.
No pain, no gain.
That's right. That's right. So.
In order to get through the storm, you got to go through it, not around it. You know what I mean? So.
And also, when we get to know each other, you know, like we have those days when we're feeling a certain kind of way, you know, we don't know how to get it out, or we don't know how to approach someone, and because, you know, we allow people in, you know, someone can come up to us and say, hey, you know, what's going on?
Right.
You know, and you know, and I've experienced that, you know, on both sides, because it gets like that, you know. You're like, okay, well, I don't want to burden anyone, or, you know, I don't know how to talk about this, or, you know, who do I go to, and, that spirit, that we all have, and when we connect it, we feel it, like wow,
Right.
Austin's, not being Austin today,
Right.
and we pull
Yeah.
him aside, and see what's going on, because we care, and and he can reciprocate because he knows where it's coming from,
Right.
and I think that's real important,
And I think it can be hard in the beginning too to let people know us, right? Because we're so accustomed to not wanting people to see what we're doing, right?
Those walls up.
Or know what we feel about inside of ourselves, because they're going to believe that too.
Yeah.
So we keep those walls up. But through letting people know us, again, it gets reflected back. We aren't we aren't the worst in the world, and we aren't the best in the world. Right? We're somewhere that place that's right sized, and that we all belong on that sort of continuum together. Because there's going to be days when, Dave, you're doing better than me, and days when I'm doing better than you, and so on and so forth. And that's how we help each other
That's right.
get through it.
Yeah.
Right.
We encourage each other to remain hopeful.
Right. Right.
That's true.
Got to go through it to get to it,
Got to, right?
as they say, right?
No other way.
People know things too. Constructive criticism. Some people don't take that too well. I'm the type of person who needs that because I was all my life I listen. And some days I still don't take certain suggestions. Some people tell me you gotta listen more and take some suggestions because I take offense to it, but I realize constructive criticism is gonna help you in the long run. That's how I look at it. You might think someone's being mean, but they're calling you out on the BS. You know what I mean? They're calling you out and like, listen, slow down a little bit, and you know what I mean? And just,
Right.
Yeah, well, we get what we need.
Yeah.
And when we put ourselves in a position where we're willing to accept that, then we can learn from it and grow from it, because constructive criticism is good.
Right. And I think when we talk about like being defensive, right, the question I always have to come back and ask myself in that moment if I'm being defensive is, what exactly am I defending right now? Am I defending this disease?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? It's like, because it has this little place in there.
Oh, yeah.
They're judgmental. They just jealous. Whatever the story is. But what am I defending?
Yeah.
And do I want to stand in defense of my recovery? Then I need to, as they say, take the cotton out of my ears and put it in my mouth. And just take it in. And the reality is maybe people are wrong about what they say, but does it hurt me for them to be wrong? Not really. It hurts me if I'm closed-minded.
Yes.
So I need to always be open to early on, people taught me, thank God, people taught me to always be self-assessing. Like even if I disagree, to take that time, step back and say, do I don't disagree? Is there something in that?
Right.
Is there something in there for me to learn from that about myself? What are my actions? What's my part in things? Because if I'm around people, I got a part.
Oh yeah.
I got a part.
Right.
Even if it's not something intentional, there's always an opportunity for me to learn more and become more self-aware.
Absolutely.
So I think that's what community gives us. If you take away every other tool that there is, whatever pathway you use, I think the one thing that will surely kill recovery is lack of community.
Connection.
Yeah. Like we were talking about that yesterday, right?
Yep,
You need connection.
Yeah, we can't do it on our own.
People.
It's true.
There's certain people that I have in my life, like in my recovery circle, I have told in the past, if you see these type of behaviors, or, if I'm not showing up, or if I'm just seeming like I'm having an off day, is it an off day, or is there a deeper rooted issue, And sometimes it sucks getting called out, and for me, my first reaction is, no, I'm good. I'm tired, or, this or that, But then when I think about it, it's like, I ask these people to hold me to a certain standard. You know what I mean? Like my actions are representing something different, and they're noticing that, and so they're caring enough to call me out on that to make sure that I'm good, because the longer I do those things, the closer I am to going back out. You know, if I can connect with these people on a deeper level and, you know, have that sense of belonging, then for me, I don't know, it just seems like it makes it easier, you know. And once I start talking about what's going on, it just pours out, you know. It's easy. And, you know, I found in the AA community that sense of belonging and connection I haven't found anywhere else doing anything, you know, even with certain family and close friends, you know, just, it's like unconditional love on such a deep level, that camaraderie that you just can't get anywhere else, you know, and I wouldn't want to live any other way.
Yeah, for real.
We did talk about that yesterday. The opposite of addiction is connection.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I personally, like, I want the people in my life to care enough about me to risk me being a little pissed off for a little while to challenge me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's true friendship. That's true, you know, connection to someone is, you know, if you're going to be like, oh, I don't know, Julie, you know, Julie, she's not going to want to hear this shit. But be willing to take the risk.
Exactly.
Care enough about them, right? Care enough about your people. To be willing, you know, for me to step to Anthony and say, I don't know, Anthony, you good? You seem a little off today. You seem a little, or you've been a little bit short lately. He might get mad at me. But you know what? I care enough about Anthony's life for him to get a little mad at me.
Right.
And that I think is a big part too of what we learn in recovery, is be willing to take the risk. It doesn't mean we have to be assholes to each other, right? Like, oh, you're acting like an asshole, Anthony. I mean, I might say that to him. I curse all the time on this.
Fifth time.
You know.
And then it's also, it's like, you know, you might say, you know, you care, and it's like, I get mad. Say it's like that happened, like instance that would happen, and I get mad, and like, damn, I gotta think about it later, like, damn, I got mad over someone caring about me. And I start feeling bad. I start getting that, you know, that crying frog feeling my throat, like, damn, I gotta come back and apologize to you. But it's like, it's people, some people just care about people. Some people just, you know, some people can relate. Like, the way I could be walking around looking all sobby, you probably could relate to that day you was having. Like, oh, you walk around looking how I was looking that day. You know, that's how I look at it. So, yeah.
Right. It's like asking for help. It's hard. It's like I heard someone say in the meetings here, you know, the two most unnatural things for me to do is not drink and ask for help. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Because that fear, there's always that fear of the what if, the rejection, you know, so many different things go through this brain, you know, it's scary, you know, like, what are they going to say? What are they going to think, you know? And at the end of the day, it's never as big of a deal as you make it out to be.
Right.
You know?
Right. Because the reality is, I can't speak for you guys, but listen, when I was at the bar at 2 a.m. and they were closed and I'm ordering 5 drinks because I did last call and I'm stumbling around thinking I look cute, I'm not really caring about what people think of me. I'm not really concerned about, what they gonna think if I say I need another drink. No, give me another drink. Suddenly I get into recovery, I'm like, I don't want him to think badly. Please, I was acting a fool everywhere. Now suddenly I care about what people think of me.
Real talk, yeah, that's true.
Well said.
Right. So that's that. Going back to what Dave was saying earlier, to circle around to that image, right? Or what Anthony said, like the ego gets in the way, right? And sometimes, we have to start kind of with the more like superficial level of it, right? I'm gonna feel a little better. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna dress nice. I'm gonna, but somewhere in there, if we don't get into the mess that's in here, that's inside of us, the residual stuff, then we can't really move forward. We just become this, like, we're acting as if. And that can only, sometimes you gotta act as if to get through the day, right? Sometimes I may not want to be at work, but I gotta act like I want to be at work, right? And it's gonna make my day go better. But if every single morning I wake up and I act as if I care about things, but I really don't, then I need to start looking at what's going on with me that I don't care.
Right.
Because if I keep acting as if, eventually I'm gonna say, screw that job, I'm not going in. I don't want to do it anymore. Can't do it anymore.
We don't want to get stuck in being a pretender, you know.
Right.
I mean, like you said, we use the steps that we have to, We say, okay, well, we'll get by, I'll fake it till I make it for a while,
Right.
or I'll act as if for a while, But eventually, we got to get real with ourselves,
Right.
We got to look at it and say, okay, well, ask myself the question, do I really want to live? Because that's what it comes down to,
Right.
For me. It had to come to that for me, and I can remember when I came back around, and I got into a little tiff with this guy, and he was putting on a commitment in the CSS, and I was like, yeah, well, I'll kill for my family, I'll die for my family, and he looked at me and he said, but we live for them. And I had to look at that, like, wow, it blew me away. I went to my room and I started crying because I never heard anything more realer than that, but when you live for them, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
Deep.
that was deep, man. I had to look at that, I really had to. I mean, I was like, Anthony was talking about earlier, that knot in your throat, it's like, I was fighting it off in the room, but I couldn't fight it once I got to by myself because it was like, all I could see is the face of my children and my family, like, wow, telling me, I love you, you mean more to us than that. And it's true, like this is a family disease. It's not, as many times as I've said to myself, I'm not hurting nobody. It's not true, because, people love you, and even though the selfishness of alcoholism and addiction, you want to say, well, I just want to do what I want to do, leave me alone. But, it's not that simple because it's not just about me,
And I've tried so many times to quit caring for myself, but like, I do it for my daughter. I do it, but people tell me it sucks to say, Anthony, but you also, you think about your daughter, but you also gotta get clean for yourself. That's true. You gotta clean for yourself. I've tried to get clean so many times for myself, and I failed because I think I could do it alone. Like I said, the ego get big. I think I can do it alone. I won't do no meetings or nothing. And I'll just, but now I'm doing it for myself and my daughter. But I put God first before anything, though. And He's my higher power. So yeah, it's serious, no joke. This disease is scary.
So, anyone that wants to grab this, what would you say to someone that's out there now who is still suffering? Whether in their addiction, or maybe they put it down, but they're still, they're caught in that mess, right? They're kind of stuck. They don't want people to know they're so messed up right now in their minds. They don't want people to know that they're still afraid or whatever. Those that are still kind of stuck in that place without this connection or the community or what have you, what words would you say to them?
Well, I would say, what worked for me. Nothing changes if nothing changes. If I'm feeling this kind of way, and I know that okay, I put it down, or it's been down for a while, but I'm struggling. Find a program that works. Find a power that you can meet and say, okay, well, I'm putting my trust in you. I'm putting my trust in something. I'm putting my trust in a program, something other than me. Because if when I'm looking to me, and I'm looking to my knowledge, I'm looking to my experience, and I'm not being real enough or willing to look at my hindsight, because my hindsight won't lie to me. It'll tell me what didn't work for me. And if I went through anything that worked for me, it'll tell me what worked for me. And even though it might be hard, and it's gonna be, but it's worth it. I'm worth it. You're worth it. it's a better life out there for all of us, no matter where we are, if we take a chance, it'll get better, and, yeah, it might get worse before it gets better, but, that's those growing pains, like I said earlier, you have to get uncomfortable. You have to get to a place. I can remember when I was in the Keenan house, and one of my biggest problems was calling people, and I said, okay, well, I have to challenge myself, and I called three different people every day, and I would pick up the phone and I'd call them and I'd say, listen, I don't like this, I'm not comfortable with this, but I want to live.
Right.
And 9 out of 10 times, those guys on the other end of the phone, they took over. They talked to me, they asked me questions, they let me know, that they were there for me, and you gotta start somewhere, You gotta start somewhere because, if you don't have a plan, then you plan to fail.
Right. For me, it was, the fear is what kept me out there so long. Fear of the unknown, fear of withdrawal, fear of what are people gonna think, and it's kind of weird because obviously I knew that I was using and drinking, but it was like I was the last person to know that I was using and drinking. Everybody else around me knew, and the feelings of shame and guilt and embarrassment also is what kept me out there. But it's like when I put that into the light and told my family and told my close friends, like, look, I have a problem, I can't stop drinking, I can't stop using, just the look of relief on their face was enough for me to say, okay, maybe I can do this, maybe this is possible. So, if you're out there and you're struggling, just know that being truthful with the ones that you love and the ones that love you the most sometimes is enough of an encouragement to get you over that battle within yourself, fighting back and forth, what do I do? How do I do this? You know what I mean? And it gets better, Miracles happen in this program every single day, and, you could be that miracle. So just don't give up hope.
G?
I would just say, try to have some hope today, believe in something, something that is gonna help you move forward with life. And, I battled with struggling in my head and battling demons, and I couldn't figure that out. But, I had to start having hope and be around positive people, people that I knew that would probably help me out. I couldn't do it by myself, and it took a lot. And you worthy, and I believe in you. I have faith in you that you can do it. And just be grateful for trying to do something better with your life, and things will get better.
Thanks. Anthony?
I'm telling you, keep trying, keep the focus, keep pushing, because it's only gonna get better. You gotta get out. You can't be upstairs. Can't be upstairs alone. That's bad company. Reach out, call people. Try not to be alone all the time. Not to isolate. We're always here. Living in recovery is always here.
And I think that, look, if you're out there and you are struggling, sometimes it's hard to find that place of hope. When we say have hope, believe, it's like, oh, well, if you just knew. Well, we do know. We do know. So if you can't believe today, then believe that we believe. And every single person sitting here, including myself, has all been, maybe not in your exact situation. Maybe it's not the exact same story, but we know the feeling.
Yes.
And that's why we're here with you today. Because we get it. We understand. We've been there. And we will be right here to help you walk through it. To walk with you through it. To walk beside you. We're not going to drag you. Well, okay, sometimes I drag a little bit, but only when you've already said you're open to being dragged, right? Right? All right. So I might scream and say, "Get your ass up here," but only once you say, "Julie, tell me to get my ass up."
Right.
So, but we do believe in you. It doesn't matter. You know, it's like it says in some of the literature and that of 12-step meetings. No matter how far down the scale we have gone. We all see how our experience can benefit others. And maybe it can benefit you. And maybe not, but there's someone. There's someone whose experience can. And just know you're not alone.
Yes.
We will be here at Living in Recovery. Join us. If you just want to come, you're not sure about it, just come chill. Come hang out, read a book. Come and see us act like fools, whatever. Have some pizza. I don't know. Just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up. And we'll be here for you.
Yes.
So... we will see you guys tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Ciao! Who's got the long arms to hit that finish button? Yeah.